You're not from around here, are you? Ha, it's not that bad. At least, once you get used to that rusted iron smell. But I could see why an outsider would hate it.
Oh, honey, don't tease the poor thing.
I'm not teasing, just stating the facts.
Don't pay him any mind, dear. I think you fit right in. Oh, of course not. I didn't mean to imply you did. I was just saying, there's nothing wrong with being new. After all, it's not where you're from that's important, but where you go from here.
Well, I know better than to argue with my wife. Still, if I were a betting man, I'd put 20 caps on you being from one of those vaults. Just a feeling. See, I met a vault dweller once before, about 3 years ago. He was just a kid, really, even more wide-eyed than you. I don't know if you'd want to. Right about the time he was here, a couple of settlers got snatched up by slavers. You could try the Temple of the Union. Some of the free men might know what happened to him. Not much to tell, I'm afraid. Most people here don't do anything save live and breathe. Me, I like to do a little drinking in between. If you want information, I'd talk to someone smart like the Doc or Mora. If you want absolution, there's the church or the bottle. My wife and I disagree on which is more holy. See ya.
The Stalls run a very family-oriented tavern. Not like that Moriarty fellow. There are some shady characters in that saloon.
Why don't you look where you're going?
A slave is not a man. He is a tool, and a tool has no soul. It deserves no pity. It feels no pain. Best not. Those aren't the words of any preacher, and if you believe them, then we have a problem. Then go. It's a reminder for me and the men I kill. No, I didn't earn my freedom to stay in one place. God talks about Lincoln a lot, says he freed the slaves. Well, if he did, then why the fuck am I wearing a collar? You got it wrong. I'm not one of them, and I never will be. I don't run from who I am, and I don't hide from any slaver. They're the ones who need to look over their shoulders. Me? I sleep with both eyes closed. I was weak. No, they're always weak. There are no exceptions. If I wasn't, I'd be wearing this collar, but I wouldn't be wearing this head. I walked out the front door, right after I put everyone else in the ground. Just two, the one who helped me and the one who got away. One, I don't care if he lives. The other, well, I aim to correct that mistake. He was the barber. 10 years he shaved that man's neck and didn't give him so much as a nick. That man owes me time, and I'm gonna collect. The collar is like a gun. Out in the wastes, everyone has one, but not everyone can pull the trigger. Didn't matter at first, though. It was the fear that kept us in line. A slave from Vault 101. He convinced me if I wanted to be free, I had to become the monster they said I was. So one day I woke up, walked into that house, and killed them all. Every man, woman, and child. When I finally came for the master, he had the remote in his hand. But all it took was a second, just a moment of hesitation for me to snap his neck. Show me your map. Yeah, it's right there. Right next to old Dukal's place. You can't miss it. Good. But I have a question for you. You the one they call the Lone Wanderer? Well, you should know. That slave from the vault said he was looking for you. Said you were an old friend. I like to quote my so-called master. It keeps the blood at the right temperature. Fine.
Hey! Look, need some help with this one? I've got one! Inside of your own blood? Well, that's the end of that.
Thought I heard something.
So, I take it you're the one responsible for this early nightcap. Must we always end our conflicts with violence? I really do despise your sort, you know. Are you sure you aren't projecting? Although granted, you're not entirely wrong. I am rather hideous, but mostly on the inside. I shoot people, raiders to be precise, sometimes for money, but mostly for fun. Of course, it wasn't always this way. I used to be an heiress, and before that, I was a fetus, so technically this is my third job. Well, it was very wet, and there wasn't much to do, but I feel like I really grew as a person during those years. That's right, although a pre-war fortune might not amount to much. Not unless father was one of the world's foremost collectors of soda pop caps. Although granted, even that might be worthless. Most people I know like to paint bullets. How should I know? It's not like there's a test for this sort of thing. If you're that curious, why don't you make one up and I'll take it? And once you're done testing the rest of the city, you'll have an idea where I fit. All right. I just came here to mingle, actually. I heard this party was where all the fashionable raiders come to maim, chem, and fornicate. Not always in that order, of course. God forbid they adhere to some kind of schedule. You're a sharp one, darling. I need to be careful not to grab you from the wrong end. The truth is, I've known about this place for quite a while. The owner has something I want. A number. One of 5 in total. You see, once upon a time, there was a very rich man with 5 very petty children. So, to ensure their inheritance was divided evenly, he locked his money away in a safe and gave each of them a piece of the combination. Maybe so, but that doesn't mean he didn't write it down. Or perhaps one of his slaves heard something that might serve as a clue. They're family, darling. I'm one of the 5. A vault dweller turned slave. The timing doesn't match, but I did see someone in a jumpsuit just the other day in Canterbury Commons. Nice woman, horrible fashion sense. Either way, she might know something about our slave, who in turn can lead me to the combination. We? Are you suggesting we work together? We don't seem like the kind of people who dabble in the same circles. But I suppose it doesn't matter. It's not like there's anyone on this stale brown dot that wouldn't bore me. Sure, why not? It might even be fun. Oh good. It looks like I didn't completely miss the party after all. Let's have some fun, shall we?
That's the end of that.
I'm not averse to a little fun. The problem is, the law doesn't always agree on the definition. Oh, don't take it personally. I meant nothing by it. In fact, I'd be doing the same in your place. Perhaps I should explain. You see, I don't hate you. I hate everything. Monsters, westerns, science fiction novels. I hate those most of all. So imagine my surprise to find myself stuck in one. Well, when you put it that way, I find it hard to disagree. Killing raiders, after all, is my new favorite hobby. And frankly, I'd be lost without them. Because it's a lot harder to shoot a man when he doesn't deserve it. Few that you'd find useful. Sure, I can gauge the quality of your wine or teach your hips to smile. But raiders aren't much for dancing, and shooting them is more fun anyway. And the best part is, I don't have to ask for permission. Now that's an image. 2 people dancing on a broken rooftop, singing in the acid rain. It's a date. You bring the gas masks and I'll bring the shoes. Barnaby's private terminal was hacked and its contents deleted. That would require a level of intelligence far beyond the capabilities of your average raider. Of all the possible suspects, this vault slave best fits the profile. Well, it's not rocket science. It's more like whistling. You just press your finger on the trigger and blow. Their brains out, that is. Anywhere else is just a flesh wound. Well, I doubt it's the kind you can spend. Unless you know a man who has a thing for stacks of green paper. Titles, deeds, all of that is worthless out here. You might say this is more of a personal goal of mine. Father believed his inheritance plan would force the 5 of us to cooperate. I'll take a certain amount of satisfaction in proving him wrong. 2 siblings, actually. No, scratch that. With Barnaby's death, there's 1. Not counting yours truly. And regardless of what you may have heard, you can always count on me. Work. With Arthur. Oh no, darling. My brothers and sisters are not the sort of people you want to partner with. Besides, what would be the fun in that? Yes, it's a rather loathsome task. Like I said, I hate everything, this included. But hating and needing are not mutually exclusive. And I do assure you, obtaining the full combination will be worth your while and mine. Oh, there was nothing wrong with him, if that's what you're implying. It's his children who are morally bankrupt. All right. Canterbury Commons is on the east side of DC. The town's got a lot of eccentrics, so this vault dweller will probably blend in nicely. Of course.
This is all wrong, Joe. I told you to make him like Alicia used to.
I suggest you be glad for what you've got.
Hey, you want some advice? Pinch your nose when you eat Joe's cooking. It's the only way to get the flavor out. I don't think so. Alicia was frying up the same gamey squirrels Joe was cooking, and it didn't taste like balls. Oh yeah, when you eat her cooking, it's like your taste buds die and go to heaven. With Joe, well, the only thing dying is you. If you want a sample, try licking the bottom of your shoe. Then imagine something 100 times worse. She got whisked away by some drifter. Didn't even pack her things.
That doesn't seem very ladylike. Although, she didn't strike me as the type to care. Where was she staying?
Across the street in Uncle Rose's garage. It isn't locked as far as I know.
Thanks. We'll take a look and see if we can't bring her her things.
Town's a lot safer now. Thanks.
It looks like someone else was here. Unless your friend Alicia likes to flip over the table when making an exit. Let's have a look around. The bad feeling I have about everything is starting to tickle. Damn. Another body. My streak continues. Well, I don't mean to make light of the dead, but our chief concern should be the living. The man at the diner said your friend moved to Springvale, right? That's just outside Megaton. If we hurry, we can get there before they do. Hannibal's right. Ridding the memorial of super mutants and slavers is a good idea, but moving in seems like a terrible one.
Oh wow, is it really you? You sure you're alright? You're talking stranger than Susie. Well, I think it was her. The real Susie probably got snatched up by aliens, because the woman I was talking to was actually nice. Good. Laying low, trying to keep my nose on my face and out of people's hair. You know, the usual stuff. Not like you. I hear you're solving everyone's problems. I always knew you had a mischievous side. Probably why I stayed away. If there's one thing I hate, it's drama. But anyways, I'm sure you didn't come here to talk about old times. What did you want to ask me? After you left, things got weird. We couldn't so much as go to the bathroom without someone standing over us. Then one day in the kitchen, I overheard the overseer talk about the need for population growth, which is just ugh. The goat said I was a cook, not a baby-making machine. True, but that's like having 2 jobs, and I didn't fail the GOAT exam because I like doing work. By being terrible at my job, actually. In fact, my cooking got so bad, one of the guards went on a hunger strike to complain about the food. So when the time came to escape, I knew just who to ask for help. I swear, he practically ran to that control panel the moment I floated the idea. I'm an excellent cook when the situation calls for it. You know me, always taking the path of least resistance. I wasn't planning on it. I actually tried to get as far away from the vault as I could. I was living out in Canterbury for a while, but then some weirdos in costumes showed up. You know me, I don't like drama, so when Hank came along and offered to put me up, I jumped at the chance. Yeah, ironic, isn't it? I left the vault to avoid domestic life. Now I'm your prototypical housewife. Wow, you were never this worried about me when we were in the vault. Oh, I think I met her once back at the diner. Nice woman. She even complimented my jumpsuit. As far as I know, they're all still there. Well, all except for Gabe, but I haven't seen him since the day we took the test. The rumor was he was doing some work for Ann Palmer's scout team and never came back. But nobody really cared enough to find out if it was true. Well, if anyone was his peer, it'd be you. He was too creepy for the girls, and not enough of an asshole to be one of the boys. Sorry, I haven't done much in terms of meeting people since I got out. And even if he knew I was here, it's not like Gabe to come knocking on my door. No problem. If you're ever in the need for a meal, stop on by. I still owe you a rad roach pie.
Alicia, sorry to bother, but can you check and see if my toolbox is outside? I can't seem to find it.
Oh, Hank. You'd lose your mind if it weren't for that thick skull of yours.
Thanks, hon.
Think you can lend me a hand out there? Might give us a chance to talk some more before you go. Great, come on. You can leave after we find it, I promise.
What if they could compete with baseball teams from Pennsylvania or Maryland?
Lock and load. Yeah. More where that came from. There's more where that came from. Damn! Oh.
You like that? I'm hit! Put your faith in John Henry Eden, great America, and baseball will live again.
Look who I caught trying to sneak out the back door. Not the most romantic boyfriend, is he? Not that he ever cared about Alicia's welfare. I think it's quite clear he's the one who set her up. Yes, of course. But before he pays the ultimate price, let's make sure to shake him for loose change. Well, I've always been partial to a little good cop, bad cop. But you can also try reasoning with him, or simply beating him into submission. All right. You lead this dance, and I'll do my best to follow. Also, see if you can't find anything else around here that might reveal his guilt. We don't want to focus on the interrogation and miss the smoking gun.
Please stop it!
Oh dear. It appears you killed him. Didn't I warn you not to do that? Although, to be honest, I can't remember. Oh well. My motto is, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. And if you break all the eggs, have a muffin instead. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm starving. Let's go grab a bite to eat.
What's going on? Where's Alicia? I'm not sure I should do anything you say. I don't drink alcohol.
Well, I could always boil you some water and then pour it on your head. Although it'd be a shame to burn such smooth skin. Oh wait, I'm a ghoul. I despise smooth skins.
Wait, I'm not a killer. I didn't do it.
I'm President John Henry Eden, and you're listening
That's
to
because I don't like
Radio.
visitors. Why else would I be in Springvale? What? And you think I had something to do with it? I'm just in shock, is all.
And so that wasn't you who sent her fumbling through the front door while you darted for the back. Not to mention the way you kept your head low before the bullets even started flying. Awfully suspicious, don't you think?
Wait, I'm not a killer. I didn't do it. It was an easy mistake. I'm always forgetting things. Please, you have to believe me.
Oh dear. You're a worse liar than my sister Antoinette. But at least she had the courage to try and kill me herself.
I don't know what you want from me.
What I want is the truth, darling. Nothing more, nothing less. And the way I see it, you have two choices.
Hello, my
Either
beautiful
you stick to your
America.
current
This
story,
is
and I
President
kill you for
Eden.
being a coward,
It's time
or you
we have
confess
fun.
and live a long,
Let's
cowardly life.
talk about government, shall
What's it
we?
going to be?
Or more specifically,
All right, fine. I'll
your
talk.
government, dear America.
And to be honest, my heart wasn't in it anyway.
Just who
Alicia,
is the enclave?
she was good to me.
Why, now that's simple.
I don't know.
Enclave
They just told me the order came down from Gabriel himself. I suppose it's because the vault dwellers were his slavers.
Your friend, your neighbor. And well,
I tried, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Killing my master was one thing, but another man's, I couldn't muster up the hate. Because he's the one who gave me my freedom. My old master owned a shop. I'd wipe the counters, sweep the floors, and polish people's shoes. Those people's shoes I polished were so clean you could almost smell the caps on them. But then one day, this guy comes in with boots caked in mud. That was Gabriel. He just talked. He said my life was worth more than the entire store, and that the value is what gave me strength. Next thing I know, I'm picking up a crowbar. The master, he could have killed me right then. And Gabriel was right. He hesitated, and I didn't. Some people say he's gathering people for a rebellion. Free men, mercs, and anyone who believes in his cause. I'm no soldier. Best I could do is stay here and watch the people leaving the vault. I don't know. I've heard they use the tunnel system to move, but I can't tell you much else. And when they find the bodies outside, I doubt anyone will speak to me again. I swear, I've told you everything. Now let me go.
Oh, how adorable. He thinks we're going to let him live.
What?
Or we could sell him to slavers. That would be quite, I want to say ironic, but that's clearly not the right word here.
No. Please, you can't.
Oh, I'm just having a laugh, darling. I don't make the decisions here, in case you haven't noticed. I do detest violence, however, so I'll be waiting outside.
Please, I've told you everything I know. Just, please, I've told you everything I know. Just let me go.
I'm sorry about your friend. That seems to be the price of doing business in the wastes. Bodies and blood. Can't say I like it, but again, what is there to like about anything? Oh, is that what I'm being? Here I was trying to be a shoulder to cry on. Not literally, of course. We can't have your tears staining the suit. But in all seriousness, I don't like it when bad things happen to people who don't deserve it. I never imagined when we paired up that I would be the sentimental one. And yet here I stand like some pre-war dame, sad over a woman I couldn't pick out of a two-person lineup. Not entirely, no. This streak of bodies I'm on is starting to weigh on me. The truth is, I can deal with the cowboys, monsters, and even, God forbid, the science fiction, if it meant, at the end of the day, good people got to live. But I'm not so sure there's a place for good people in this world. Oh God, does this mean I'm developing a conscience? And it shouldn't be. Not when you're losing people you care about. Well, just know that I'm here if you need me. In fact, I suggest you take a little break. When you're ready, I'll arrange for a meeting with a friend in Rivet City. With his help, we'll infiltrate this army and find out exactly where your friend Gabriel is hiding.